Hi, Dana here. Welcome to Sew, Learn, Create. I'm glad you joined us today. And if you like what we do, be sure you click that subscribe button and the bell notification. We are starting a new series on patriotic projects in honor to celebrate the birthday of our country. And we'll be making the patriotic flag. I will be making a limited number of kits that will be on my Etsy shop that will have all the supplies for you to make your own if you'd like to purchase that. So let's get started. For today's project, the patriotic flag, you're going to need the following supplies. You're going to need some red fabric and some blue fabric, and then you're going to need some lace. And I used two different kinds of lace on mine that were basically the same width, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But I want to talk about the fabric that you're going to use. So I've pulled several different fabric combinations, and one thing you want to remember on your flag is that your red will be your background. Your blue, of course, would be the stars up here in the corner. So if you're using a pattern fabric, you want to make sure that the patterns are different scale. So like if you have a small pattern for your red, then you can use a little bit larger pattern for your blue. Or if you have a larger pattern for your red, then you would want to use a little bit smaller pattern for your blue. And so I have several different combinations like this one. If I were going to use it, I would use the red, which is a smaller scale heart, and then I could use this big star pattern, and they don't compete with each other. So that's the main thing you want to use. I don't really like using a total solid fabric. It's just a personal preference. It would look fine. So if I was going to use a solid, I would use a solid that had some kind of what I call texture to it. It would have a little bit of tone on it. And that's just a personal preference. For today's piece, I'm going to use this red star fabric. And then I'm using a smaller scale blue star fabric for mine. And so the sizes you need for the background red is 8.5 by 11.5 inches long. And then your blue is 5 inches by 3.5. And I'll put all those sizes in the description. You'll also need some lace, and I'm just using this kind of lace that you can kind of see through. You could use ribbon, but if you're going to put it on a t-shirt, then you might want to choose your ribbon wisely, something that can be washed multiple times. So remember your lace. If you're going to use lace, that's fine, but if you're going to use ribbon, just be sure that your ribbon, if you're going to use it on a t-shirt or something you're going to wash, would be a washable type ribbon. So I'm going to use this lace for part of my stripes, and then I'm also going to use this lace as my other. And that reason for that is just because I like the contrast between the two. You certainly could use all the same to create your white stripes, but I kind of like the multiple look. So those are the supplies you're going to need. And the first thing we're going to do is, of course, iron our fabrics so they're nice and straight, because you remember, if you've watched any of my videos, I like to iron everything so it just sews a little better, I think. So we've got it all ironed, and then we're going to place our blue right up here in the corner of our flag, and I'm going to pin that because we're just going to take it to the machine and we are going to straight stitch all the way around that. And I want to make sure that it stays kind of lined up on the edge, so I am going to put a clip or two out here at the edge. So when we go to the machine, we're just going to stitch all the way around this blue, securing it to our red fabric. So let's go to the machine. Now we're going to stitch our blue star fabric, and I'm going to use the inside edge of my foot as my guide because I want this to be a pretty narrow seam allowance. And I'm going to start right here on the bottom, and I'm just going to go all the way around. And I'm using just a regular straight stitch. And remember, when you get to your corner, leave your needle down, lift and turn, and align it back up, and then just keep going. Now our blue is secure. We'll go back to the mat for the next part. Now we're going to start laying out our lace, and I'm going to start right here at the top next to the blue for my first piece. And I like to start about 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch from the top, just because I don't like the look of the lace at the top, but that's a personal preference. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to just put my lace here, and I'm just going to trim it right here at the end. And I'm going to trim it just a little bit longer, because I can always come back and trim it up at the very end after I'm finished with my project. So I'm going to put my first piece, and I'm going to just pin that in place. And then I'm going to alternate and use different lace on mine. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to leave about 1 inch in between. And what I want to check here is I want my next piece of lace to run right underneath my blue. So I want that to be about the same distance here and here. So I'm going to just cut that. And like I say, I'm cutting my lace just a little bit longer because I can trim it up at the end. That way, if something shifts on me, I don't wind up at the end with no lace. So that's one of the main reasons I'm doing that. And I'm going to pin that piece in place. And then I'm going to come back to this lace. And again, I want that to run right underneath the blue. And I'm going to cut it a little bit longer on both ends. That iron is hot. And I'm going to pin that. All right, then I'm just going to keep alternating, cutting my ribbon, making sure I get it going the right direction, because this does have a top and a bottom, leaving about 1 inch or 1 inch, a little more than 1 inch in between all my laces. Then my last piece, again, just like I did at the top, I'm going to leave just a little bit of the red showing at the bottom rather than putting my last stripe down at the very edge. That is, again, a personal preference. If you like it where it covers up that raw edge, that is perfectly fine. Just adjust your stripes the way you like them to be. And the reason I like to lay out all my lace before I start stitching is because if I need to make an adjustment in the spacing, now is the time to do it rather than after I have half of it stitched and then I need to adjust it. Like I think I need to adjust this one here just a little bit. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So if I had pinned it all and I needed to slide it all up so I'd have a little more room at the bottom, then I could do that. Now we'll go to the machine and we will just stitch this lace. We are going to stitch the top edge of the lace, and I'm going to stitch the bottom edge because when you wash this, depending on what type of lace you use, if you don't stitch the bottom, it will have a tendency to curl up on you in the dryer, and that way you don't have to iron it. But if you want to just leave your bottom part of your lace open or free, that is, again, a personal preference. So let's go to the machine. Now we're going to stitch the lace, and I'm going to try my best to do a stitch line right in this little groove so it won't show as much. And then I'm starting just past the end because I'm going to go all the way around and come back and cross that stitching. And I'm just using, again, a straight stitch. And when I get to the end, I'm going to go right as close to the end as possible, leave my needle, lift my presser foot, turn, make sure my lace is still laying nice and flat. I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to go back on the opposite side of this lace. And this lace kind of has a scallop, and I'm just going to try to stay as close to that scallop as possible. So I'll kind of move in and around that, but if you want to just do a straight stitch, you could do that also. Again, when I get to the end, I'm just going to go as close to the edge as possible, still catching my lace. Turn. I'm going to go to this edge and turn again and back across that stitching where we started. And I'm going to back stitch there. So that gets our first piece of lace done. I'm going to show you how to do this one and probably this one here, and then I'll finish the rest off camera. So again, I'm going to start right here at the edge, and I'm going to pick a part of my lace that I'm going to try to stay as close to. This groove is a little bit closer to the edge, so I'm going to try to stay there, but if I get down into this open part, it really won't matter. And I'm using just a light gray thread on my machine. Then to start this one, I'm going to start over here on the edge underneath my blue because I want to make sure this lines up really well under that blue. So I'm going to start on this edge. And again, going right down this groove as best as I can. And as I'm pulling my pins out, I am adjusting that underneath fabric to make sure it's nice and flat and it's not puckering on me. There's my long one. I'm going to finish the rest of these off camera and then I'll meet you back at the mat. Now our flag is completely sewn, and the last thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to clip all our threads and get those taken care of. And then I'm going to trim these edges. And as you can see, like right here, if I had cut this exactly to length, I might not have made it all the way to the edge. And so that's why I cut mine a little bit longer, is so that if it shifts on me, then I've got room at the very end. So then you just want to go, I'm going to cut mine this way. So I've turned it over, and I'm just going to trim those right up next to that red. And I'm going to do the other side also. All right. Now our flag is done. And the last thing I like to do is just take an iron, and because this lace is polyester, I've turned the temperature of my iron way down, and I'm not gonna leave it on that lace very long. I'm gonna keep that iron moving so that I don't melt that lace at all. Now let's talk about some ways you can use your flag. I, of course, put mine on a t-shirt, and if you're gonna put it on a t-shirt, I would recommend adding Heat and Bond Light. Make sure it says light because that's the Heat and Bond you can sew through. And I would put a piece on the back of that, and it's a self-adhesive, so you iron it, then you peel it off and you can iron it onto your shirt. And that would stabilize it where you could just stitch all the way around this outside edge only and on your t-shirt, and that would work really well. So if you're gonna put it on a t-shirt or something that is knit, I recommend adding, again, the Heat and Bond Light to the back, and just follow the directions for how you do that. Another idea is if you can put it on any color t-shirt. It looks good on gray, light gray. I put mine on a light blue because I preferred that, but it even looks good on a dark blue. You just need enough contrast between your red and your t-shirt color. Another idea is you could add it to a tote bag. If you aren't a person who wears t-shirts and you want to use it in a different way, you could always add it to a pre-purchased tote bag and make your tote bag patriotic. You could also add it, another idea I had is you could add your flag to the front of an apron for somebody who's going to grill on July 4th. Now, I made my flag a U.S. flag because that's where I live, but you could certainly do the same idea using your country's flag if you would like. So I hope you like this project. I hope you liked today's project, the patriotic flag. And remember, I will have a limited number of kits with all the supplies that you need to make your own flag on my Etsy shop, and the link will be in the description. And be sure and check back with our playlist for new patriotic projects. So, see you in the next one.